Right guys, it's the EdShed, it's stupid o'clock at night and you can hear the rain, it's horrendous. So, mock-up, what do you think? Motivational mock-up of a go-kart. Now there's a soapbox, now there's only one problem with it. I've heard today that supposedly you got to have four-wheel disc brakes and a roll cage and a lot of other things which I'm not going to put on there. So I'm just going to build this just for a laugh. I'm going to build it for us, yeah? So, I'm going to sculpt this and drop the axle in. I'm going to sculpt that and drop the front beam in. The wishbones, not a problem, sorted. Front hubs are a problem. I need to make some spacers to get them in line. I can just weld it, but I don't want to, because if I want to take the wheels off, I can't. I'm still not, I don't know. Anyway, so, seat-wise, we're going to sit back somewhere about here. And we're going to have a rod that's going to rub on here for the brakes. And it's going to be one solid rod, so you're going to yank it on and it's going to bang straight into both front brakes. No front brakes. Steering column, as you can see, over here. Look over there. Right, steering column, that can be altered. I'm going to chop this down, and this will come about like that, right? That will give me my angle, but I need a seat. I'm going to do some triangulations back to the wishbones, and I've got that wheelbarrow which I'm going to chop up to make the roll cage. Alright, I'm going to make some sort of roll cage off back axle. It's not going to be, yeah, trust me. Front suspension, well, we managed to, we got the hubs out. Look, there's the hubs. So the hubs came out with their inner part, yeah? The only problem is, that is too small to bolt into one of them wheels. So I need a plate. It's got that hole in the centre, but I can then re-drill to get it square. You understand? Yeah. Well, I know what I'm talking about. Well, I think I do. So that then would get me my wheels. Now I found obviously one of my bearing pushers that works. And that gives me the right diameter. There you go. Let's see. So what I'm going to do is get a bit of plate to go into there in that diameter and come out big enough for that diameter, and then with the centre hole of the other diameter I weld that in and nut and bolt it so I can take the wheel off. Yeah? Change them tyres for smooth ones off a wheelbarrow. I'm still not overly keen on these because you can't buy new, they're obsolete, you can't buy new. This is don't get old, but what they say is that when you get old, your family want you to have the best, so they buy you a new disabled car every time. So this one, unfortunately, is breaking up, so I don't quite know what I'm going to do about it. I'm really a bit depressed about that, because I can't turn it round, and I can't turn it over, so I don't know what to do. I don't want to put the bolt in the other way around, because if you put the bolt the other way around, if it does fall out, we'll die. But anyway, we can only grease it up and try. It's gonna have a bit of a tilt. It's gonna be a bit like one of the, that happens on the Red Bull soapbox thing. They break off. But basically, it'll work, right? I don't know. I'll talk about that. Right, basically, it might have to be changed. So, we've got our things, yeah? They're going to go like that. Yeah, like that. Wow, just like that. And they're going to go like that. And this is our steering wheel. Now, I don't know now. I may have to turn that round. I just looked at it, sorry. I've just looked at it now, I think I might turn it round. It might not be able to go that way. It was that way, but I might have to put it that way. Which could cause me a bit of trouble with the steering rods. Yeah, it's not going to go out. We're not doing that, forget that. Just ignore I even said that. Now it'll be fine. I'm gonna drop that axle into the box. So I'm gonna drop it in the box and then I'm gonna plate it at the end with some of the old stuff I had over here. Basically I've got some stuff I cut up years ago. My idea was I'm going to use some of this. No, you can't see. Well, you can now. I'm going to use some of this to go across the end of that, and that will box that in and weld it up nicely. That's my plan. So that's it. We are. For the local people who know about this soapbox derby thing, then yeah, fine. The only problem is that the regulations, they're keeping it really quiet. So they're saying four-wheel disc brakes or disc brakes in a roll cage. I mean, that's sort of taking the fun out of a soapbox. We've all turned into these rope namby-pambies, haven't we? They're scared. Now I'm going to run it. I'll do it. I'll do the bloody thing. Of course, I've been down that bloody hill and a lot worse. I can show you. The Land Rover with no brakes. Try that one. It weighs about 1.5 tons. So I think it'll be fine. But at the minute, I've got a few ideas I want to try. I want to make it quite heavy and low centre of gravity, but I also want to make it quite... I don't like these wheels, sorry, I don't, but I haven't got any choice. So my idea is I'm go over those treads, but then I need probably to keep the treads on the back because I think the handbrake is going to rub through those tyres pretty quick. But I don't know how many times, if at all, we're going to go down the hill, who cares? But by that rationale, our body is going to be, I want to do as an E-type, but I can't get the wheelbase. I haven't got enough wheelbase, it's going to be too short. So I'm seriously tempted now to forget the E-type idea, because obviously if I did the entry, it'd be the EdShed. I might enter it as a vintage Bugatti. So we'll have a little boat tail, we'll have a little seat and a pod, we'll come back, little front, and we'll try and get our... This is why I'd like the wheelbase longer, which I can't do. I really can't do the wheelbase longer. I could do the wheelbase longer. Do you know what I could do? I could use a bit of 4x2 box section to come over the axle, and I could sleeve over there with 4x2 to give me my extra length. Then I could have my wheels further forward, but I think there's going to be a point where I'm going to get too long of the wheelbase, it's going to become uncontrollable. So I've got to try and get it right. I'm building this by eye and by scratch, so if I just get it how I think it's going to work, then I can take out the hills and try it myself. I can put my crash helmet on and I'll give it a go. Because I think with plenty of lubrication on their those back wheel bones, clean them out, reef pack them. I'm going to repack the front ones. The most thing at the moment, it's cost me nothing. The biggest problem I got at the moment is the bloody spacers for those front hubs. And I could weld them on, but then I'm stuck. If I weld them on and I damage them, then I'm with scrap. We wouldn't be able to repair any of it in situ. So my idea is to be able to repair in situ. If I can drop this into that box section by just maybe cutting it like so, yeah? I can drop the box section in, drop the back axle in, and then I'm fixed on my length. I might put like a loop on the front here, like a nose cone. But I really want to try and get it in proportion. So I don't know. I will see. I like the idea of proportions. I think it's going to have to probably be an open wheel Bentley Bugatti racer. But I'd love to have made it into an E-type. But unless I get the wheelbase longer so I can get the wheels in front of the radiator, I'm not going to get it. And I haven't got a longer bit of box section, so I'm going to do what I can with what I got. I can get an inch at the back. I can strap at the back of an inch, and I can get maybe, I can't get anything at the front because I can't tee that on there. If you jump that, that'll break off. I have got this fantastic bit of bracing that broke off. Look at that, bit of bracing that's car. So that can be cleaned up, and to be honest, I could sort of put that on the front or underneath, and then I could actually come forward with a, I don't know, like a sort of a crash barrier which I've got over there off the car, off the old scooter. And I'm probably thinking that people are going to go, well, yeah, but that box section is not big enough, heavy enough. No, you're probably right, it isn't, and it might well break. I can only brace it back so far. I can only put a beam to put your feet on, because your feet aren't going to reach here. That's certain not. Unless you're going to sit too far forward. If you sit too far forward, you won't get the brake. So I've got to sit it right on that axle. Where that weld is, as you can see there, see that broken weld, which I broke that plate off, that weld is about where our seat wants to be. And then I'll be able to get the lever so I can have a brake. So I want a lever for the brake on the back wheels, no brakes on the front, steering wheel on the thing, it's going to have a right similar steering wheel. I think it'll be fine. But it's got to be like, I don't know, it's got to look like something stupid. So we've either got to try and make it look like a duck or a car or an E-Type or, I don't know, we'll think of something. But let's get the chassis built. Alright, so, bored you enough guys. If you're not interested, don't watch. If you don't ever get to see it done, if we don't do it, well, it doesn't really matter. And with the rain coming down like it is, and I've run out of cider, I think probably at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll probably just pack it in. And for the benefit of my South American viewers, yes, is a recent video. It is April the 5th or 6th. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye.